For black women, 28.6% are married. So, about a quarter of the women are married. Black men is 34%. So there's a higher percentage of black men married than black women. Married black people, it evens off to 31% of black people are married. And black people in America, these are all, based on American statistics. And black people divorce at a 30.8%. It's the highest in America. And the lowest marriage rates in America. The whites, Hispanics, Asians, they all, marry more and divorce less. Factors in why women are choosing to be single and not married. Economic disparities. Remember in the last video I talked about, my homegirl was talking about the women are higher educated and they earn more. So, economic disparities and high divorce rates. Those are factors in why people don't want to get married.
It's come to the point where being single is just a lot safer than dating, getting into a relationship, being in a situationship, or anything with anybody, because the way that these men are set up nowadays, the way that these men move about, the way that these men lie, cheat, finesse, use, abuse, mistreat, all of that, the way that they do that so openly and also without any remorse, without any care, like, what is going on? I don't understand. Like, nobody can convince me at any point right now that being in a relationship is better than being single. Nobody, because I am so at peace.
Here's the point that you ladies have to understand about what she just said. She is dating the top men out of her league. Those men have choices. Those men are not going to get tied down. That is as simple as it gets. A good average guy would gladly be a partner to her. It's not rocket science. And you're going to hear me say this quite a few times in this video because there is nothing else to say. All of you women keep gravitating towards the same guy. The guy that has no interest in settling down. The guy that's going to play you, dig out your guts, and then give you every excuse for you to stay with him and keep giving it out while he rotates you around many other girls and waste your time. Simple. The idea is you're batting way above your league, ladies.
Divorce wrecks a man's life. He got a habit for life with alimony and child support only lasts 18 years. But I'm sure that alimony may last longer than that. Factors in divorce. Reasons why people get divorced is economic hardship, changing social attitudes toward marriage, and specific strains experienced by couples. So, till death do us part doesn't even mean anything anymore. Economic hardship, let's get a divorce. Girl, you could do better by yourself. You don't need help. Changing social attitudes towards marriage. And the strains experienced by people. Like men hate women and women hate men. Men are unattractive to women and women are unattractive to men nowadays, especially in the black community. Black men, don't like what's going on with black women as far as, all of the masks and, makeup, fake, all of that stuff costs money, and we as logical men like, that's a headache. I don't want to deal with that stuff. You know what I mean? Okay, I can go to Colombia and get one with real hair. That, I could have a good time with. She could jump in the shower, we go have a good, go to the sea, whatever. And it's sad because, black women, especially in America, as I grew up, they were the most prettiest women in the world. We used to always talk about how beautiful and lucky we are. Black women are that was like, the thing. Black women are the prettiest girl. They didn't wear makeup. The only women that wore makeup, like in the 80s, Go to look at the hip hop videos with Salt and Pepper in them. They wore like lipstick and that's it. Maybe some eyeliner in the earrings. You know, but most girls didn't even wear all that. You know, what's the name? What was my girl name from Brooklyn? T, something T, Miss T. I forget her name. But she was a rapper from Brooklyn, beautiful dark skinned girl. She was, I thought she was the prettiest rapper, you know what I mean? The girls were natural, the women were natural, women were beautiful, black women were beautifully natural. The only women that wore makeup were in the 80s, 70s, up until the 2000s really, and, Lil Kim probably in the late 90s. But the only women that wore makeup, especially extremely how they do it now, is the church girls. Girls that went to church, they would get their, crazy makeup. And white women. And prostitutes. Most black girls, they look, they knew they were beautiful. You know what I mean? I mean, we had a different relationship too. It was more respectful, more based on love. Black women are the most educated demographic in the U.S. So these are all reasons why, women are choosing to be single nowadays. Black women earn 61% of the bachelor's degrees, 71% of the master's degrees, this overall, and 65.9% of the doctoral degrees. The degrees are most likely in health and medical services, healthcare and patient care, psychology, nursing, social sciences like sociology, political science, and anthropology, biological science, which is research science. Masters in business, 25% of black people that go to college, 25% of black people, they get a master's in business management, doctorates, and the black women are getting doctorates in medical and dental, 65.9%, so about 66%. Women are getting doctorates. So none of these are degrees are based on households. You know what I mean? Like accounting, economics, political science, sociology. There's sociology in the social science. But degrees that could help a family and not an individual. Yeah, it's good to have black dentists and female dentists and all that, but it's more important for black women to be raising our children, taking care of the young kids, showing them, spending time and resources on them. But if there's single, they're pushing off. Black women are pushing off, getting babies later in life. So say they graduate in 25, and like after 35, women, are considered high-risk pregnancy. So there's really only 10 years of mating in American society. It doesn't make sense. But it only helps the bankers, the Caucasian, because it's birth control. They're controlling the birth rate by making the black woman unattracted to the black man and the black man unattracted to the black woman. Because even with all of that and the homosexuality and all of that, black people's numbers are still growing every year. White people's numbers are staying the same. So that's why they call it the browning of America. They're saying that the majority by I think 2050, the majority of black, of people in America are going to be people of color. What they call people of color. All Alright, so now this right here is children living absent their father. Children growing up absent their father. Their father is absent in their life. 57% black children. That's sad. That's sad. 31% for Hispanics, 20.7% for whites. Sad. We have to learn how to get along. Children growing up with their father are more likely, children growing up without their father are more likely to struggle academically, have behavioral problems, and mental issues like depression and anxieties. Living with no parent is most common. We know, like since the 90s, the grandmother has been raising the babies, our babies. Black women have the most abortions in America. Black women have 35% of all abortions. White women have 33%. They have a lot of abortions. And Hispanic is 21%. So this is what we know, that with the feminism and the women's lead, the women decide whether a child lives or not. In most cases. So the number one reasons are not financially prepared, not the right time, and issues with the partner.
You ladies got to get your shit together. This is not a game that you can take lightly anymore. This economy coming up is going to make life very, very difficult for a lot of you. The calls are starting to come in with women now who are having problems financially. You're going to start seeing a massive uptick on TikTok of women who have lost their jobs or women who can't find jobs. We've already started seeing a few, but it's going to get significantly worse.
Now, let's talk about families together. Black families together benefits. There's reduced poverty. Working as a team, going to have more access to more finance, more economic strength. Improved emotional and behavior outcomes for the children. Meaning the children are going to be more emotionally and behaviorally controlled. The kids will have more control and a better quality of life, and a brighter future. Cultural values instilled by parents working together, traveling together, avoiding societal pressures impacting cohesion. I came up in a two-parent home. See my parents working together. My sister was married. Her husband returned to the essence. She was married to a man, Jamaican man. Here, he died of colon cancer. We got out. We as black men have to stay mindful of that. Colon cancer, prostate cancer, get regular checkups and stay broad. But more importantly, it's like eat healthy. That's causing the death and destruction of the black community and the destruction of our community. It says black women would benefit in earning degrees that will help our black community by earning degrees to build strong homes with men at the lead to impact our children positively. We see how the degrees that single women are impacting our communities negatively because the children are off the hook right now, the worst that they've ever been. Let's talk about it. Leave a comment, like, subscribe.
My old like set of standards that I held for myself, I'm like, okay, I need like, what the fuck? I need like really high standards. Like I have high standards and I do, but I feel like with dating, like I've kind of like realized to calm down a little bit in certain areas where I've been so high and mighty and tight with like certain things that you need to have. And I like been relaxed on that, and I'm still just like not seeing or like feeling how I feel like I'm supposed to be feeling, and it's just like kind of upsetting because I'm like, okay, not that I'm lowering my standards, I just feel like I'm like opening up a little bit more and like growing up, realizing that maybe certain things that I used to think were like negatives are actually positives, and I don't know how to navigate it. I'm in this weird limbo of like trying to grow, trying to learn, and
You know what growing up would be? Get rid of the freaking Wolverine nails. Stop spending money on stupid shit. Learn to cook, because obviously you can't. Because one of the simplest meals is for you to actually cook what you have in front of you. Steam that broccoli, easily marinate some of that beef that you have, the beef and broccoli, and easily throw some of those noodles in a pot with a bit of sauce. And you could have easily wrestled that up. But no, you're single, you're 30, you got a dog, you're overspending on takeout food, nails, makeup, and freaking you. It's a dismal life for a lot of you ladies, man. But you don't understand. It's an easy, easy fix. You don't have to be sitting here in a shitty mood.
P Funk City G.